walking the central streets of Chernihiv. Beautiful and green city. Lots of marshrutkis zipping along, bring people home for the day. The city is surprisingly well maintained, good pavements, good parks. As you see on the right, this is the road to Slavutic, which is the old Slavic name for the Dnipro River. Slavutic is a city that was built for the survivors of, or the displaced people of Chernobyl, and they were placed in this new town. It was newly built after the disaster in just a few years later. So there are still people living there now in Slavutic. It's near the river, and from there's a direct train line to Pripyat, where the reactor is located, the nuclear reactor. Because obviously there are still people working there that live in Slavutic now on whatever task there is. Because there is still work, of course, to, well, kind of keep the radiation levels in proportion. So people still work there every day in Pripyat, and they live in Slavutic, a lot of them at least. Then there's Kyiv, which is the capital of Ukraine, also straight ahead. And to the right is Gamil, which is a city across the border in Belarus. As you can see, a lot of the cars are more modern nowadays in Ukraine. Some trolley buses are more modern, but there's still the old ones and the old funny looking marshrutki. But things are improving. I mean, we're far away from Kyiv, about 150 kilometers. But you see mostly modern cars. It looks pretty spotless everywhere. And Ukraine is changing, really. You can see that there's a difference in... Oh, here we have an old one. The difference when I was here maybe 6 years ago was immense, and you can see it everywhere. There's people looking at me in a surprised way because I speak English, or I'm a foreigner, or just because I'm talking into my phone. Really, the city doesn't see a lot of foreigners at all. It's fading away into provincial obscurity, even though it's quite a relevant city for the Ukrainian history. But you know, what can you do? Ukraine will become more popular and touristic, which I guess is for the good, if it's the good kind of tourism, not just for the ladies and Chernobyl. Here you see a bus stop, which is quite modern as well. I heard that the city was completely modernized in the last 2-3 years, and for the better. As you can see, it just looks European, except for the architecture, obviously, which is still, I wouldn't say ugly, it's attractive, but East European. But it has the atmosphere of Ukraine and Eastern Europe, which is exactly why I love this place. Here's an underpass. Seems also to be quite new. I'm going to a restaurant now. See, it's just all clean and spotless, and you would have a worse prejudice for Ukraine, but it is quite good, honestly. Safe, lots of young people, coffee places. I mean, it is a really nice place for a vacation, and I can only recommend it. Here we are on the other side. I'm exhausted after the 25 kilometer bike ride, really. Ukraine is just nice. I mean, look around. It has something. It has an atmosphere. Here you can see the old pavement still. But things are being done. You see a lot of new bricks here. Who knows, in 5 years this won't be the same. Which I guess is very good for the city. Because I love the way it looks now. See, they're already breaking up the pavement. New stones. Old marshrutka. Old Lada taxi. If you like this kind of atmosphere with the old cars and you know the different ways of life, you should come to Ukraine now, because I like that too. And I love seeing the country change for the better. But I like Ukraine as Ukraine, so I also like seeing their particularities, like the old cars, how people dress differently, the old metros. I just like everything about it. So you see an immense contrast now with new restaurants popping up, see? And just come see it for yourself, because it's just lovely. Don't hesitate.